King Protea becomes the official logo as South Africa launches the G20 Presidency 2025. Country's GDP goes down as the price of fuel goes up. Time to fill up your tanks. Nothing like a woman scorned. A divorcee buys her 1.4 million rand marital home she was supposed to share with her husband for 1,000 rand in an auction she plotted. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
The body of an illegal miner has been retrieved from an abandoned gold mine in Stilfontein today. The harsh conditions underground clearly taking their toll. The body was recovered from shaft 11 at the old Buffelsfontein mine, where the operation is currently underway to bring hundreds of Zama Zamas back to the surface. This is the second decomposed body to be retrieved in less than a month. President Cyril Ramaphosa says the country's presidency of the G20 is not only about advancing its own interests, but that of the continent and other emerging economies. South Africa is the only African country to be part of the bloc of 19 developed and emerging economies and the first to host the G20. Launching South Africa's presidency at Parliament today, Ramaphosa said government would build on the developmental agenda set by other emerging economies which have hosted the group. South Africa's G20 presidency will be held under the theme of solidarity, equality and sustainability.
South Africa will seek to harness global commitment and capabilities to confront the challenges that the world faces. We all seek to achieve more rapid, inclusive and economic growth.
He says the impact of climate change, disaster resilience and food security will top the year-long agenda.
Right after launching the country's G20 presidency in Parliament, President Ramaphosa will move on to the South Africa-Nigeria Binational Commission at Tynhuys, also in the parliamentary precinct. The Binational Commission, or BNC, comes as South Africa and Nigeria this year mark 3 decades of diplomatic relations, which were established in February 1994. DIRCOM Minister Ronald Lamola emphasized the close ties yesterday.
This year marks 30 years since our two countries established diplomatic relations, following decades of Nigeria's relentless support for the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa, a gesture we will always cherish.
There are currently 34 agreements and memoranda of understanding between the two countries, covering a wide range of fields from economic, technical, scientific, social and tourism. Babalo Ndanze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Also on an official visit is US President Joe Biden. He's in Angola, the first sitting US leader to visit the country. The trip, his only to sub-Saharan Africa of his presidency, is intended to underline US ambitions in Africa and offset the significant investments from China. Cape Town police have made a breakthrough and arrested 4 suspects in connection with multiple murders in Mfuleni Township. The men aged between 29 and 35 years were arrested this morning. They're suspected of killing 5 men in a shack in Mfuleni on Sunday afternoon.
As part of the investigation, 4 firearms, including 3 pistols and a rifle, as well as ammunition, were also seized. The arrested suspects have been charged with murder and possession of illegal firearms and ammunition. They will appear in court soon.
The economy has shrunk by 0.3% in the third quarter of the year after a revised marginal growth of 0.3% in the second quarter. Stats SA says the agriculture, transport and trade industries were among the biggest drivers in the poorer economic performance. The drop in the GDP went against market expectations, with some economists predicting a slight growth in the economy. Not dropping, though, is fuel. From tomorrow, both grades of petrol will increase by 17 cents per litre, while diesel will go up by 54 cents per litre. The Energy Department says a number of factors have contributed to the December fuel price hike. These include fluctuations in international product prices and the decrease of the rand against the US dollar.
Eliminating paraffin at wholesale level will increase by 48.88 cents per litre, and the single maximum national retail price of paraffin will increase by 66 cents per litre. The maximum retail price of LP gas will increase by R1.72 per kilogram.
Angelo Jordan, father of the grade 7 learner who was shot in Rivoli, says he was threatened at gunpoint by known gangsters who suspected he is a gang member himself. The Wilhelmina primary school learner was shot dead on Saturday evening, November the 30th, the same day his father was called out. Jordan said he received threats for weeks before his son was killed, but when confronted by the suspects, he told them he wasn't gang affiliated.
There were guys that were threatening me before they shot my son. And it has been going on for weeks. They took out guns, they cocked the guns at me, but they never shot. And then on Saturday night, just before they shot my son.
Pethe Sara Simiao, arrested for the murder and rape of a 6-year-old child, has abandoned his bail bid. Simiao appeared in the Protea Magistrates Court this morning. The 24-year-old was handcuffed last month after little Amantle Samane's body was found in his shack in Orlando, Soweto. The NPA has welcomed this, arguing that he is a flight risk, has no fixed address, and entered the country illegally. Cape Town is expecting a record number of visitors this festive season, so the city has deployed more than 680 lifeguards to beaches and swimming pools ahead of the summer tourism boom. We're told that 340 lifeguards have been deployed to beaches and 343 at swimming pools across the peninsula.
Last season's improved statistics are welcomed, but one drowning is one too many. Even more heartbreaking is that all of the fatal drownings during that period happened outside designated bathing areas or during times when lifeguards were not on duty.
Some Soweto residents have rejected Eskom's proposed electricity hike, saying it'll make electricity unaffordable. The country's energy regulator, NERSA, is holding public consultations at Uncle Tom's Community Hall in Soweto. The consultations around Eskom's application to hike its electricity prices by 36.15% in the next financial year.
The 36% tariff hike is unacceptable by all means, because to start with, 32% of unemployment in South Africa. So already communities, residents are actually struggling to pay for electricity with the current tariffs. What more and what will happen if the tariff increases by 36%? That will actually cripple a lot of residents.
NERSA will make a decision on Eskom's application on the 20th of December.
The main aim of these public hearings is to solicit, comments from our stakeholders and the public in general on Eskom's MYPD6 application. So that those comments, and inputs from the stakeholders and the members of the public in general, can be taken into consideration by the energy regulator when making the final decision on Eskom's application.
Mahikeng High Court in the Northwest has set aside the sale of a house valued at 1.5 million rand, but auctioned for a mere 1,000 rand. The property was the subject of a dispute between parties who were married in community of property and was part of a divorce settlement reached in 2022. In terms of the settlement, the house was to be sold and the proceeds divided equally between them. But the auction took place with only 2 bidders, and the winning bidder was the ex-wife's attorney acting on her instructions. And we were graced by this today. Mzansi Ballet dancers entertained us at the Prime Media offices. The ballet troupe is hoping to inspire new talent as it performs in different townships in Gauteng. It infuses different genres of dance with ballet to represent South Africa's dance heritage. The company was founded by Dirk Badenhorst in 2017.
So we're basically training in the township all the kids that doesn't have any possibility to come to the theater or to come to class. So we go there and teach them some class and hopefully trying to find some new dancer from South Africa.
We'll leave you with those beautiful images. We will see you again tomorrow.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.